Hi, Susie from Pink Diamond Guide. How is everybody? Hope October's starting to treat you a little better and that the energy is starting to feel a little lighter. What I suggest for Divine Feminine is it's coming into a more balanced energy and you're moving with it with more personal power. Whereas for Divine Masculine, I would still sort of challenge that they're still trying to figure out what that energy is all about. This is this reading is interesting because we're moving into the 10-10 portal window, right? Now we know tens are all about balance, completion, and when you got 10-10, we're looking at balance. But when you break 10 down, it's a one, right? So it's also a rebirth number. Like if you in numerology, tens break down to one. So we have that rebirth energy available as well. Add that into all the solar eclipse energies, and we've got a stunning month coming up that will look like it reaches its completion where we underline the energies by about the 28th. By and large, Divine Feminine should be starting to feel like they're coming back into their personal power, though, which hopefully you're feeling that push too. It's a very, very earthy, very grounded energy. So, again, I just, before I did this reading, I just thought, I just want to draw myself a set of cards and see what comes out. And again, because the energy was compelling, I thought, no, look, I've got to share this. So look, the push from the universe, I love this. This is wisdom. And these cards are beautiful. I picked them up at Mind Body Spirit Festival when I was at Brisbane last year from a lovely lady who's made these, and she focuses on things like essences and oils, but she's psychic medium as well and has made this set of essentially they're oracle cards, but they're very grounded, and they've actually been sitting in my cupboard for about a year, and I haven't really bonded with them. But now this earthy energy is, I'm really feeling this connection, this earthy connection, and I wanted to grab them out and see if they spoke to me, and I do. I'm feeling a much more connected energy. So the push from the universe with these cards is the energy of wisdom. And that's exactly what I've been feeling, right? Is like we're coming through a big ascension window and the universe wants us to get to that next level of ascension. Now, this one here is visibility, right? Wanting to be seen again after a window of wanting to hermit or even a running away kind of an energy. The push now comes into bringing things back into visibility, which would definitely support how October's got a more communicative energy. It's less combative, and it has, the ability to, I say flirting becomes more natural under this next energy, versus that real heavy you versus me energy. This now goes, I want to be seen again, right? In the soul space, what we've got is the energy of delight, right? So moving back into a happier, more harmonious energy within our soul space. The challenge becomes the physical impression, right? Look at our physical expression, beg your pardon. Here we want to be seen, but it's we're still sort of moving out of our caves, and wanting to move into a space where we're feeling balanced and harmonious. And here we've got the energy, the advice from spirit is overpowering, right? But here I just see that strong masculine energy, so it's more action oriented. I get this energy as, that wanting to move out and take action into the new energy. And as our likely energy, likely scenario, we've got the energy of repair. So to me, when I looked at this energy, just to get like a snapshot of what's going on around, I was like, that's legitimately what October promised, is to come into understanding of why we've been through the mud, to come out the other side, clean the energy off, and step back into our personal power, and to start to fix anything that we found whilst we were in that struggle space. Come back and see, what did we discover while we were going through, if you've been in separation, or if you felt particularly disconnected, what did we find? So look, the current energy is at 10-10 portal. We're coming up on it. We're already in the energy starting to open, because today's the 9th, the 10th is tomorrow. So that energy is already really on us. And then we move, see, that's a balanced rebirth energy. And then we move into, we're in eclipse season about the middle of the month. Again, we're facing things we don't want to face. There's a little bit of power struggle energy in there, but essentially what we're doing is defining how we want to move forward. So the energy around the 13th, as we move through the portal energy and then into the eclipse energies, In between time, what we've got is the window to really get sure about, well, sure, it's more of an American accent, sure about how we want our energy to move forward, right? So we've got this nice, neat little window where it's a time to recommit to the things that we're really passionate about. And how do we get to that place where we get there? We've The universe has given us all the wisdom that we need, right? Leaning back into that Christ consciousness, finding the truth of what the journey is all about, getting ourselves out of suffering and out of the pain points and more into that empowered state, moving towards what we want to recommit to and how we want our journey to unfold. Righto. Let's have a look at divine feminine energy and see how it's playing out against those energies. Knight of Pentacles comes in, push from the universe. The Magician comes in and how we're showing up. Ten of Cups comes into the soul space. The challenge is the Chariot. We've got the advice from Spirit is the Four of Wands, and the likely outcome is the Ten of Wands. Look, there's your 10-10, right? Getting out of the pain points, right? Ten of Wands laying the burden down, and Ten of Cups moving into a much happier space after having done some work. Let's look at the bottom of the deck before I really unpack this. You got the Four of Swords, Queen of Wands, the Lovers, you got the Fool, you got the Six of Cups, and you got the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, look, I hope you're feeling this energy. I really do. Here comes our third 10 for this reading. We got the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, Ten of Wands. Think Spirit wants to move us on. I've got a funny feeling that we're really going to feel this push significantly. Now look at this. It's Six of Cups is going to push us back through past energy. So yes, when we look at twin flames and we see Six of Cups, we are talking about twin flames coming back around for another shot at moving into union. We are looking at when we see Ten of Pentacles, we're looking at the completion of an ascension cycle, and it's getting all of the harvest of everything that you've been through in order to move yourself forward. Now, what Spirit is suggesting here, look at this leap of faith energy. So there could have been some real rubbish in that energy that we were forced to look at. And in this eclipse season, that reset energy is facing what you don't want to face. So with our twin flames coming back around for another review with the relationships or the unions having another review, it's what did you find, and are you ready to undertake the next part of the journey? So it is that like, when you do a test and then the teacher marks it, and then you get to look back at what you got right and what you got wrong, and out of that assessment you get to see how far you've come down the journey. And then Spirit goes, well, all right, are you ready for the next part of the journey now? And Spirit's just saying, just trust me, the next part of the journey is about to open up for you. And again, we bring in the energy of the Lovers, we bring in the energy of the Queen of Wands and the Four of Swords, right? So it's the energy of the Lovers is in how I'm picking it up at the moment. It's a choice to put your passion back into the connection. Remember, I was saying before, we've got an energy coming up, and that's around the 13th, where it brings your major passions forward, right? And because we're looking at twin flames, it brings your passion for your twin forward again. And here's the Queen of Wands, and it's asking you to recommit to the journey, recommit to the healing, recommit to the connection, recommit to the process of moving this energy forward. Because when we're on a twin flame journey, we know this is not just about the romantic heart of it, it's about getting on board with the divine for the purpose of the greater mission. And the struggles in between, all of them are designed to get your soul to evolve, right? It wants your soul and your twin soul to evolve to a higher level of frequency. Now, opportunities to move into meditation are going to be really pivotal over the coming weeks, as you get very, very clear about what your heart's intentions are and what you're going to do to recommit to the journey, especially around October 13th, that Mars is aligned with Saturn energy. If you're not making vision boards or doing contemplative meditations around what you want to manifest, you're going to waste this window. this window is designed to get you very, very focused on what you want to recommit to. And look, it's shown up in our reading, Divine Feminine. It's getting into that highly contemplative healing space and recommitting to our twin flame journeys. So whether you are, and this has been interesting. It's like I haven't had this energy for a while, but I work under an alias for a psychic phone line, and as well as the work I do for Pink Diamond Guide, and under both umbrellas, over the past probably 2 weeks, I've had more clients come in that are brand new, waking up to the twin flame journey, than I have in probably the last 2 years. So it's, breaking down conversations with people to figure out, is this the journey that you found yourself on? And we're, go through the usual checklist of going, where are they at? What are they going through? What are they experiencing? Can we tick off some markers on the way? And it's like the amount of people who have woken up to the journey over the past couple of weeks who have crossed my path. I haven't had that, like, it's like, not that it's a mass of people, but it's definitely like a group of people. It's like you see a group collective waking up at once and finding themselves on the journey, asking questions and wanting to move into answers. And look, here we've got wisdom is the push from the universe, and over the top of the energy, divine masculine, feminine gets the Knight of Pentacles. So that energy of going, oh, it's Groundhog Day. Knowledge is power. I have to figure out who and what I am on a twin flame journey, and the universe is pushing us into more processes of understanding. But here's what's nice about the 1010 portal is that the lessons that come in should be newer ones, right? They should be helping you feel balanced, helping you feel complete, and giving you an opportunity to rebirth the next part of your journey, which is, why that Fool energy is there, because it's a kickstart into the next phase of the journey. And with it, the underlying energy, that wisdom energy, is alongside the work that you're really willing to put into it, is what's going to transform the situation. And I like this with the energy of visibility, right? It's a feeling of you're going to be proactive in the journey again, whereas like the past kind of couple of weeks, that really tough sludgy energy, it was hard to put the effort that was required to transform the situation or to graduate out of the process, the last process that was it became a you versus me energy. And it had a degree of toxicity that was very, very challenging. But now it's like going, I'm willing to be seen again. I'm willing to be in the fight again. I'm willing to transform the situation. The likely energy into the soul space comes in 10 of cups. Why? Because essentially you just want to be happy. We want to get back to that baseline where we feel like, love is alive and well. And underneath that, that's the energy of delight, right? And 10 of cups over the top. There's no discrepancy in that energy. Divine feminine is being pushed into a place where she just wants to feel like all of her cups are overflowing, like love and stability and joy and all of those gorgeous 10 of cups emotions in the soul space. Now 2023 is the soul year, so we do want to have an energy like this taking us through the last part of the year in order to take advantage of it as we move into 2024. Now, is this going to mean that every twin flame comes into union with their twin? No. But what it's going to mean is that you hold enough vibration of the twin flame frequency, of the balanced twin flame frequency, that whether you're with your twin or not, you feel empowered and you feel happy and you feel ready to take advantage of all life has to bring. Now, under this 1010 portal, that's the energy of opportunities as well. 1010 brings a whole bunch of opportunity with it. The question is, what are you going to invest into the 1010 portal energy in order to get the happiest outcome possible, or the most peaceful, the most graceful outcome possible? And this is forcing you, it wants to push against you to say, do not sit in suffering. Yes, you have pain points, but do not sit in suffering. Let's focus on where we're going, not necessarily on what you've suffered to get to this point. Here's the challenge. It's the Chariot, right? And here it's the challenge, physical expression. So to me, again, it's a repeated message. divine feminine is going, righto, I'm coming out of that last window of energy, but the Groundhog Day energy of getting back to bringing myself back into a harmonious state is challenging. And it's hard for me to find the motivation. You could be feeling really lethargic, and finding it hard to push yourself to get back into that full energy where you were, actively pursuing a harmonious state versus, stepping back into the more challenging, or the energies that bring more suffering. So you could be feeling a little bit lethargic under this energy, but Spirit says, I've got you. I've got you. Keep working with the journey. Knight of Pentacles doesn't give up, right? They just keep going, like a tradie, right? Knowing that if they just keep laying another brick and another brick and another brick and another brick, eventually the house will be built, right? And Spirit says here, Four of Wands, my advice to you is focus on harmonious union. Now, here, I love it when Four of Wands comes out because it does have the 1111 represented in it. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen 1111 over the past couple of weeks. It's almost like, and you know what it's like when the universe is throwing you signs and synchronicities. It's just like you see it everywhere. And the other number I'm seeing everywhere is 222. So there's plenty of push on twin flames to feel the energetic push and know what we're moving towards is keep the goal in mind of harmonious union, but get back to the work of ascension, because that last ascension hit was a doozy. And now Spirit says, now I want you to have the fruit of that. So let's get back to what it's all about. Let's get back to doing the work that you got to do in a daily way in order to maintain that higher twin flame vibration that aligns with twin flames being in union. Spirit says, I don't want you to be in suffering, right? Lay the burden down, lay it down. Now, I'm not a church goer. I don't belong to any religion, but Christ is at the heart of the way I live my life. His teachings about the way to treat people is the way I live my life. And I have what I would consider a 10 of Wands practice, right? And what I do is I get into meditation, and anytime I get into a serious pain point with life, right, I go back to the teachings of Christ, and he says, bring your burdens to me, right? He says he doesn't want us to carry the weight of sin. He doesn't want us to carry the weight of the world. He doesn't want us to have these levels of frustration that bury us in being alive human beings. So I have a practice that I use, right? And it's kind of this energy of, I imagine that I've got a backpack on my back and it's filled with all of my troubles, everything that I want to lay down on any given day. And I imagine myself, I get into meditation and I do the practice of climbing a ladder. And at the top of the ladder is like a garden where I meet Christ, and I give him my backpack. I say, here are my troubles for the day. Can you help me carry them? I'm going to hand them over to you. Can you help me carry them? And this is the energy of the 10 of Wands. It's going, this backpack is way too heavy to carry. I need to take it off. And Spirit wants you to. It doesn't want you to sit in suffering. The divine does not want you to sit in suffering. It wants you to understand the pain points, but especially when we're in a, look at this 10-10 portal. It says, I want you to be in balance. I want you to be in completion. I want you to have a rebirth of your energy, a reset of sorts, and take advantage of any opportunities that are going to present over the next few weeks. And if you are buried by the burden of suffering, you're not going to be able to focus on what the fool's journey is, which is manifesting what's out in front of you. The fool doesn't worry about the past, and the fool doesn't, stress about the future either. The fool just follows his feet. He doesn't worry if he's going to fall off a cliff. He doesn't worry about the weather. He doesn't worry who's with him. He doesn't worry about anything. What he's doing is going, I trust you, divine. I trust you. I'm going to put one foot out in front of the other, and I'm going to show you what it is that, the fool just desires to feel good, right? Just to you can imagine he's out on a sunny day and he's just enjoying the moment and he's just feeling like a leap of faith energy, right? He wants to feel as if all the opportunities in the world are his to take, and there's no tether. There's no tether, which is why Spirit says, lay the burden down. We want to get coherence. We want the thoughts that we send out and the feelings that we have about. So if thoughts send it out, feelings bring it back, right? The universe brings you what you are, not what you want. So we have to get coherence between our heart and our mind and our gut. We want all of these energies really, really focusing on our present moment, right? And when we're in the present moment, we don't have imagined stress about the past and we don't have imagined stress about the future. What we can do is just dream our reality into perfection. Now, when you get into this state, allow your mind, if there's a challenge that arises in your future, right? Imagine the solution as well. So let's say you're dreaming about coming into union with your twin flame, but right now your twin flame's in a relationship with somebody else. So every time you start to imagine a future where you and your twin are together, the first thought that comes up is the connection with the partner, right? So now you can get into the place where the solution has occurred. You don't have to think about how that's going to occur, but what you can imagine is that you and your twin are together, and that the person who has moved out of the journey is happy living their life in the scenario that they're meant to be raised up in, right? You can imagine if your twin has a job or an addiction or a process, you can imagine them on the other side of the solution. You don't have to know what the solution is, mind you. You just imagine, all right, I've created a problem. Now I'm going to create the solution that goes with the problem. I can see the relationship, and I'm not asking anyone to go out and be a home wrecker here on any grounds, right? The universe conspires to bring twins together, and our soulmates that show up have also agreed to this process. And the universe will conspire to take everybody where they need to go, as long as you keep trusting the divine. Now, if you and your twin are meant to be together and harmonious union is your destination, but your mind pops up and goes, but what about my partner, or what about their partner? Well, as part of you and your twin being together, you can also envisage that their partner is in a happy scenario as well, that they've moved into the scenario that they're meant to be in, and their soul journey continues to evolve and grow. And I know it sounds callous, doesn't it, when we talk about twins in relationships and knowing that karmic soulmates have to fall away. But we can work with that energy and go, you know what? We've all agreed to this journey together, and I'm going to include into my scenario the karmic soulmate and them having the happiest version, their most divine will fulfilled as well. So it's not to get bogged down into the problem, it's to move into the solution, and then allow the universe to conspire with you to bring you into the correct outcome according to the frequency. Reality will be right 100% of the time. So if you and your twin are meant to come into union and there's a person, a place, a thing, a process in the way, right? Your job is just to come into alignment with the frequency of the union. And once you two are in the frequency of the union, reality will be correct. Everything that needs to get out of the way will get out of the way by default of the fact you have attracted the correct frequency towards you, right? So this is where the work comes in. This is where the magician comes in. If you're not with your twin right now, or if you're going through a difficult phase, it's because you and your twin are out of alignment with each other. Reality is right 100% of the time. And the goal is to bring it into the right harmony. Now, if your twin gets into the right vibration with you, then a karmic soulmate won't be able to stand up in it by default, right? If you see what I mean. So it's trusting the process and trying not to get into that worry space where you're going, but for me and my twin to come into union, somebody has to get hurt, right? You have to kind of surrender that over to the universe and go, it is what it is. If my twin and I are meant to be together, we will come into the correct vibration of union, and the universe will conspire to rearrange all the players to put them exactly where they need to be to allow that union to occur. And this is part of it. This is why knowledge is power, and this is why managing your emotions and getting out of suffering is such an important process when you're on a twin flame journey. All right, shall we have a look at divine masculine energy and see how they're faring coming up to the divine, what are we, 10, 10, 10 portal. It is divine, the 10, 10 portal. Let's see how they're faring with this energy. Let's go. We've got the Hierophant. Holy dooly, we've got the Three of Cups. Yeah. Isn't it funny? I just went on this big spiel about third party energies. I was feeling it in my bones. Feeling it in my bones. All right. Six of Pentacles goes into the soul space. Eight of Wands moves into the challenge. We've got the Queen of Wands moving to the advice, and the Eight of Swords, the likely outcome. From the bottom of the deck, we've got Queen of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, the Star, the Hangman, the Queen of Swords, and the Lovers. Oh, we've got some matching energy there, don't we? Look at that. That's definitely coming through for a review. The divine is really pushing twin flames right now, and there's, like I said, I've noticed an increase of the people who are finding this information for the first time and reaching out for clarity and support. And then those of us who've been on the journey for a while, we're definitely evolving into that higher frequency. And like I say to everybody, twin flame journey, knowledge is power, because the union phase has its own version of ascension that you have to come to grips with, and that can be as challenging as the runner chaser phase as well. But we are all moving. The planet is really moving into 5D. More and more people are awake. More and more twins are coming into union, and the more twins who come into the union, the easier the process gets. And what we've got here is you've got the Lovers, right? So what I'm suggesting here, there's a lot I want to say. I feel like I could talk forever on this energy, but this is coming into the knowledge and the choices that twin flames have, right? And by and large, when we come into a twin flame journey, there'll be challenges, there'll be gaps, there'll be struggles. Like it might be age, it might be race, it might be religion, it might be distance, it might be financial status, but by and large there'll be challenges and temptations that twins need to overcome, right? That's kind of twin flame 101, that we're learning how to grow in love and acceptance and into that more divine state of moving into that higher Christ conscious frequency. Now, for divine masculine to truly come into this understanding, they really do need to figure out some of the things that need to be cut out. And what we've got is the middle of the month is that eclipse energy that is really about facing things that you don't want to face, and really dancing deeply with it. And it can put them into like a real I don't see this as a nasty energy at all, although it can be. It can feel like they get very practical and very sharp with their words, or, as they're trying to figure out these pushes and pulls against them with relation to the way they're experiencing love and divine love, and the things that get put in the way, they're going, why the hell do I got to go through this, right? And it can push them into a reclusive space of wanting to just pull their energy back and figure out on their own. And I speak about this often. The divine will put separation phases upon people when the divine really wants to work with you to get the knowledge into the get you into that next space and the knowledge that you're meant to attain. And if you can't get quiet, if you can't understand, if you can't get that red hot look in the mirror about what's being pushed against you, it's very, very hard to learn the lesson, right? It's very hard to move into the next phase when you're just surrounded by white noise and people wanting your time and attention. And sometimes just to push you back into a recluse space is the thing that gets you across the line. What I like about this is they're saying divine masculine, I've got you, right? I've got you in the spotlight. I've got you in my line of sight. I really want to work with you. I'm kind of seeing this, in this way, as if this is the divine, right? And this is both energies of going, here's my divine masculine. You are in my line of sight. I have got you and I am working on you, and I want you to hear everything I've got to say. I want you to feel the blessing of what it is to know me. I want you to feel the blessing of what it is to trust in me. And I am working on you so hard right now that you could probably hear the tapping of the hammer in your ear, right? And here we've got the energy of the Queen of Pentacles, because it's a nurturing space as well. I'm really feeling like there's a balancing of that feminine masculine energy. And when I'm looking at a Queen of Pentacles, I often talk about single mums, right? And how they can have the masculine and feminine energy absolutely sorted. We're in a very practical, down to earth energy. And really what we want to see in this energy is it's the nurturing that occurs when the divine wakes divine masculine up, a detoxifying, a balancing, a rebirth. The feminine energy is birthing something new within the divine masculine, and it's directly poured out straight from the divine, straight from that higher consciousness, straight from Christ consciousness, and says, divine masculine, I choose you. I am working on you. Evolve. um it's it's such a deliberate energy. All right, now look at this. You're gonna love this, right? Look what comes in here. You got wisdom as that initial card I drew out. Hierophant comes in over the top. We get Knight of Pentacles versus Hierophant. Look at the difference in the energy. It says divine feminine, just get up and go about your business. Just get up and do what you got to do. Go about the motions of what you normally do in order to learn and grow and evolve. And here the divine masculine takes a massive leap into wisdom, right? Maybe they get a mentor, maybe. But what I'm actually seeing is that they're understanding themselves so much better on a spiritual level. And here, look into this is what it could suggest. It could suggest third party entities, but to me, it's like they come into focus. Not that they're wanting to indulge it, but it's like I have wisdom about the third party entities that are deliberately affecting me, the things that are causing me the challenges. Because spirit says, look, in your soul space, I want to give to you. Here you've got the energy of delight. Divine feminine goes, well, I know what I'm working towards. I just want this bliss of the 10 of cups. And in the soul space right now, the divine is saying to divine masculine, I choose you. I am raining down all of this onto you to bring you into balance. This is genuinely, when I see it in the soul space, it is genuinely pennies from heaven with regards to an ascension journey. It's going, this is what I give to you to add to your knowledge, to bring you into the energy of the Hierophant. I'm going to give you all of what you need. Right now, you're way out of balance, right? But here, I want to bring you into balance. I want you to have that completion, that rebirth, that reset, and to have these scales here around the 10-10. It's a 10-10, right? I'm bringing you in. I'm giving you what you need to come into a higher level of wisdom. Challenge for divine masculine to express it, right? What are they learning? I don't know. It's finding the words. And sometimes when you go through a soul ascension journey, but it's like your soul knows it and your heart's wrapping its energy around it. But for your brain to be able to find the words and compute that to a point where you can articulate it to another person, that could be challenging. And so what we've got here, look, the likely outcome is see how they're still tied up, right? They're still bound by all of the ideas, by all of the challenges. But the push from the advice from spirit is to recommit to the journey, right? Recommit your passions towards this journey. Recommit to expressing yourself. Recommit to communication. Recommit to getting yourself out of this drama and process that keeps everybody in pain, right? This twin flame journey. Let's recommit to understanding what the journey is all about. It can, for some, bring union about, but I say it every reading. Everybody comes together when they're the defining factor on when your union's going to come together is when you can both bring the same vibration to the table that allows it to stick. It's all energy, it's all frequency that needs to be managed. Their thoughts are sending energy out. The feeling of it brings the feeling back. So we need coherence, right? We need the coherence in the mind, the heart, and in the gut. And when that coherence is correct between you and your twin, that's when union occurs, right? Now, when you get into union, you go through ascension, it may not one or both of you out of that frequency again. So then the fight is on to bring in more knowledge, more work, more understanding to re-attain the frequency that holds union together. It's all managing energy to the best of your ability, and the universe is going to continue to push degrees of ascension upon us, because I don't believe anybody achieves enlightenment in this life. Like enlightenment is for when you complete however many journeys you're going to have as a soul, and I don't believe you get it in this lifetime. But that's what the journey is, right? Is that you're trying to gain enlightenment, but we will never be in that perfect state. Christ was in the perfect state. Christ attained enlightenment, but none of us are the Christ. But his teachings will get us as close to enlightenment as we possibly can. So the more that we learn about what Christ consciousness was, and what the role that twin flames play in bringing that consciousness back to the planet, right? That's the thing that brings you into union. That's the thing that says, here's my lovers, here's my beautiful lovers with their beautiful masculine and feminine, with their beautiful positive and negative, with all the challenges that come against them. And they refuse to quit on each other, because they are eternally tied by a divine higher consciousness, by a divine thread that can't be broken. Oh, I feel like I feel like a motor mouth today. I feel like there's so much to say. There's so much to explore. There's so much to get into. And the next window of energy, I just feel like it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be stunning. It's going to be fun. It's going to be collaborative. And it's going to bring about the structure with which our lives are going to move to. So we're going to get a real clear feeling of what the fruit of all of this work is going to look like. That's it. Let's get a message direct from our divine masculine. I think I'm just going to have to reach over. I'll put them over the back there. Oh, there they are. Let's get a message direct from our divine masculine as to what would they say right now about what's going on in this ascension journey for them. What are they learning? What are they going through? And what do they want to tell you about it? Or what do they want to tell us about it? Let's have a look. They don't want to talk at all. My throat chakra just like completely closed up. Let's have a look at this energy. What would you say if you could, divine masculine? Here comes our 3 of Cups again. Righto. And the 7 of Swords. And the 8 of Wands. What have we got? King of Swords. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. And we've got the Knight of Pentacles. That's a pretty clear-cut message as far as, it's probably surface level. Straight up, King of Swords in the challenge. I can't communicate. I can't. I really want him. My soul's got a lot to say, but I just can't. And on that front, I'm being really, really deceptive in not talking to you about everything I've learned about these third-party energies that influence me, everything I've learned about what I need to do to move into a truly elevated, higher consciousness space. And you know what I love about this picture? It keeps coming up this week. Particularly my daughter and I just keep seeing references to the idea. See those pebbles in the pond, right? And it's like the idea of keep throwing a pebble in the pond, right? That's what we're like energetically. And if you keep hitting the same spot in the pond, right? If you keep hitting an energy point, right? Just throw the same pebble in the same spot in the same pond, you're going to get a resonance that's consistent, and you're going to get a resonance that sustains. And what I'm picking up about this energy is that what the process that they're moving through, right, is designed to sustain a new resonance that actually turns their life around. It actually changes the way they move through the world. And it's, instead of having a deceptive voice, it's going to be a voice of truth, and it's a voice of integrity, right? Here's our Knight of Pentacles again, right? It says, I want to be a voice of integrity. I want to be someone who gets up and works on myself every day. I want to be someone who gets up and works on the journey every day. I want to be someone who consistently puts in the right energy into my energy field so that what is resonating out from me is not anything that's destructive and third party, but it's Ace of Cups energy. Now, Ace of Cups to me is self love, twin love, divine love. So, what they're doing is they're constantly ringing the same bell for sending out a sustained higher vibration frequency. Um, they can't tell you about it just yet. They've still got a deceptive face on, but there is fast paced action happening in their soul. All of the arrows are in the air for change, and the change is coming. There's our Wheel of Fortune, and they're going to come out the other side of this with a sustained higher order frequency, which is the key to union, right? Or the key, it's not going to bring everybody into union, but it's going to bring them into that next level of ascension. So if you've both hit the right vibration to bring union together, it'll happen. But if all that they've done is not all that they've done, it's massive work to get to the next level where they can sustain that higher order frequency consistently, then that's what this energy is saying I am consistently ringing the bell at the same frequency so that it becomes my signature tune. And when I can play that tune in a sustained way at the right frequency, that's the thing that brings this together and turns this energy around. I hope that makes sense. Makes sense to me. Oh, okay. Let's do some divine love. I keep looking at these feeling like they've got a little message too. I know these readings go on long, but I feel like I've got a lot to say. Let's have a look at this one. What have we got? Express your love, right? Express your love. Get it over there. You deserve love. And we've got, what's this? They're shiny, it's hard to read. Let your friends help you, right? And I said that earlier, they may have a mentor helping. Deception needs to go to the challenge. They've got to stop being deceptive. Forgiving and learning. And what have we got there? Codependency as the likely outcome. Look, it is interesting, and like I felt a little bit attracted to these cards because whatever this third party energy is right now, they're trying to kick it. They're trying so hard to kick what it is that's holding them back. And sometimes the biggest problem is identifying where the heart of the problem is. And, and what do we want to say to them? We want to go express what's going on. You deserve to be loved, even if you have flaws and foibles and you've gotten things wrong in the past. Get advice, get support, get encouragement. Allow this energy to transmute within you, right? Because look here, spirits, forgiving and learning, that is the heart of Christ consciousness, right? Is having an open heart, willing to help the next person to learn and grow. And here, the challenge in the deception, they've got that twice. This energy of not saying what they need to say or not being the truth of who they are. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship, and that's the heart of the matter. Is going right now. They've not revealed enough of the story to be able to. Well, they don't know enough. They're not able to be in the fullness of their authenticity. But essentially, I feel like that's what's coming. That's what's next, because that's what that 10-10 portal is so important for balance, completion, rebirth. And then we have that next energy on the 13th that is, look, that vision board about recommitting to who you are and what you want, and bringing your major passions forward, right? That's what we're looking to the next little energy window. All right, let's get some divine love oracle and see what's in it. Divine feminine for divine masculine, and for the connection, divine feminine, love birds. Divine masculine gets mature. And what do we got for the connection? We've got grounded. It's interesting. It is interesting. Lovebirds, look, this is kind of a surprise for me, because most of the divine energy around the divine feminine has been it's a pretty grounded, pretty practical energy. See this Knight of Pentacles, wisdom. We haven't had anything really lovey. Oh, yeah, okay. So I guess here we go. Yeah, and we did. I did forget. It is all there. But see, like that's my reticence to sit in this energy. Like where it's opening up to the idea of, holding this really, you know, I don't know. This is the comfy slippers energy, and we get out of the big ascension pushes where we're, it feels almost competitive at times, and to get into this energy is where you just get to feel the love and the openness and the. Ooh, a door just opened by itself. Hang on. So I'm going to say, open the door to your heart, divine feminine. Open the door to your heart, and like bringing this energy in. Look how many times it's been expressed in your reading. To go, you can trust it. You can trust, even if you remain in separation. What we want to bring back is that feeling of love, and the bubble love kind of love. We want to bring that really light-hearted expression of love, that one that fills your cup, that one that makes you feel stable and safe and comfortable, and feeling like you can recommit. That's the recommit to the energy of that more soothing version of love, is what I want to say. I feel like I can't really settle into this energy. I'm going to get another card and go, what are we talking about? And yes, it's saying grounded, but I'm not feeling grounded in that yet. And maybe this is what the 1010 portal is going to bring us into. Oh, again, we get the same message, 2 from 1. I'm not myself. Righto. Okay, I get the message. It's like Spirit's going, I'm bringing you back to feeling committed and open and loving, but right now we're sitting a little bit outside of it. So we need to bring our shadow and our light back together and balance it in, right? And go, not let the darker or the pain or the suffering energy tip us out of our blessings, right? Not keep us in those lower vibe spaces. But when we get the opportunity to really focus on where we're going, we want to include these loving energies into our visions. And we do want to manage the shadow energies. Like I said, when you're manifesting, and you don't need to know how everything works out, you don't need to know how they deal with these third party energies. They're very dominant in this reading. We don't need to know how. All we've got to be able to do is go, this is where my heart is at. This open, unconditional love for not only for the twin flame journey, not only for my twin flame, but also for the divine mission that I've been assigned, right? And when you get back into loving feelings about that, or at least the feeling like you are back in your own body and back in your own power, then this is going to feel like it fills your heart again. Okay, now mature for the divine masculine. This is it's a doozy of a reading, isn't it? Look at this. He's got the Hierophant here, and it's the wisdom over the third party. It's the wisdom over the challenges that they've had. It's the maturing into the highest order that they can be, right? And that's going to come from the divine bringing, look at this, grow into this lesson. It's time to go, right? And it's funny because I've been talking about divine masculine of being down the rabbit hole. And this is when I drew this card, it's a little bit hard to see, but it's talking about Alice in Wonderland and being down the rabbit hole, and how that time when she was down exploring Wonderland, and with all of its challenges and all of its wonders, she came out of it a different person, matured. So sometimes we have to go down the rabbit hole, explore Wonderland, see what there is to learn there, and come out the other side a different person. And in that journey, right, here we go, we've got the energy of being grounded, which is really, really important. We do have that Venus in Virgo energy, which does highlight. It's good to get out in nature and to ground any energy that feels like it's, keeping you out of your blessings, or keeping you out of, or if it puts you in suffering, then it's a problem, right? Yes, we can have pain, but we don't want to stay stuck in suffering. So it's going to be really important to ground this energy. And I'm excited. I haven't been to a class where someone else teaches me meditation for a long time. I'm going to do that this week. I'm going to hear somebody else's perspective on how to ground my energy. I've been enjoying seeing other people's modalities and exploring different approaches to balancing the energy. So I think this week it's really pivotal that we take advantage of the window that's available, ground our energy. As we do that, our divine masculine matures. And then look at this. Let's bring the lovebirds back to the surface. That's our 1010 portal reading. Take advantage of it. Balance, completion, rebirth. Let's set the chapter beautifully for the next part of our twin flame journeys. All right, in faith, hope, and love, I'm going to say it's bye from me for now.